Hi, everybody. Thanks, Greg. The world is being transformed by technology, and this, in turn, is changing how people behave, especially when they're outside the home. But there is a unifying theme in all of this, and that is convergence. And the story that I've chosen to show you today is Mini in the UK. And I've chosen it because I think it's a wonderful example of pioneering convergence in out-of-home. And of course, convergence is being led by the consumer, who they connect with, and how they do it, how they interact and share, the content that they consume, where they are, what they do, where they are, and how they behave in different places, but perhaps equally importantly, what they buy and how they buy it. And you might look at this chart and say, well, this looks like a new media chart. What on earth has convergence got to do with the oldest medium in the world, out of home? And so before I show you the story of Mini, I just wanted to put it into context by giving you some examples of what I mean by convergence in out of home. Here's a screen in a sports stadium in the USA, and it's connected and showing live traffic reports, so people know if they need to go home by a different route. Here's a mobile. In this instance, it's using an app, a Nokia app called Point and Find, but there are other ways of doing it, and by pointing at the poster, having visual search. And here's an example where Google have used out of home to actually advertise vocal search. If you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious into your mobile, it will search for that word. And of course, visual search and vocal search make it so much easier for people to search on their mobile, especially when they're outside the home. And we've got tons of evidence that suggests the easier it is to do it, the more people will do it. Here's an example of a bus shelter where a consumer can actually scroll and choose some content, and then they can get some information on local restaurant, perhaps, or some other local retailer near the bus stop. Here's an example where you can interact. In this instance, it's an Olympic game with Cadbury in the pre-Olympic build-up in the UK. Or you can share a poem that perhaps you've written and send it to a screen on a station on your way home via your mobile. And in this example here, 1,000 people were invited to actually create their own poster and send their design electronically and choose the site that they wanted it to be displayed on. And at the same time, a live event was held. And this created a conversation on Facebook with 100,000 people saying that they liked the product. You can create a cinema outside and watch it. You can tap a poster and download the latest Lady Gaga release. You can stand on the London Underground in the morning and see images being beamed live from New York streets cross-track. You can write on Facebook your own joke and see it displayed on a screen in a social environment. And in this last example, artists were invited online to actually design new labels for Beck's beer. And then we showed the designs in a trendy part of London and turned it into an art gallery. So that brings me onto my entry, which is for Mini. And you might look at this and say, but that's just an exhibition stand. There's nothing new about that. But this is an exhibition stand that's interactive, that's connected, and that's providing a digitally social experience. What I love about this is that it's taking a really old idea and turning it into a very new idea. For those who are not old enough to remember, in the 60s and the 70s, the Mini was a really popular car in the UK. And everybody used to play this game, which was how many people could you cram into a Mini? The Mini's popular again now in the UK. And when we were invited to put a campaign together for the launch of the Mini Countryman, the first four-door Mini, we took that old idea and brought it to life. How many people can you cram into a Mini digitally? I'm now going to show you the video of just how this worked. So there you have it, convergence in out of home. Thank you.